Welcome to the JAWN podcast. I'm your host, Shalia.
And your host, Janina.
And today, y'all, we have a very special guest in the building. We have Sharryse from the Connect Like Minds podcast here with us.
What's up, y'all?
Hey, thanks for coming through.
Of course, my pleasure. I'm so excited to be here today.
Cool, cool, cool. So, we're going to start with our words of affirmation. And today's affirmation is plain and simple. You got to catch it real quick. Nothing changes unless you do.
That's deep.
Yep.
I called it. I
Good.
needed to hear that for today.
Okay. Cool.
Yes. So the word of the week is release. Oh my God, where's all my notes? I put all these notes in here afterwards. Where'd they go?
You put it, it moves. You put it's down. I don't know how that happened. It's under sis. You cool. Some of it.
Oh, I see it. Okay, so the word of the week is release. Release means to allow or enable, escape from confinement, and set free. So the reason why I chose this for this week is that I know a lot of us tend to hold on to things that don't serve us, hold on to things that could be holding us back.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to do better with just like releasing things that are not conducive to my productivity and to me being a better person. And things that are preventing me from serving for the good. So that's why I use the word release.
Okay.
I
Cool.
like that.
A good word. Okay. So let's check in on how each of us are doing. Sharryse, you want to go?
Sure. It's been a hectic week. I was on this hiring committee at work this week, so doing my regular work on top of that was very stressful. And yesterday, I don't know if you guys watched the news, but there was like a severe thunderstorm, so it was a lot of breaking news. A lot of people was without power, and so I had to like stay after work later than what I expected. So I ended up not getting on the road to go to Maryland until like 8 o'clock. So
Wow.
I didn't get officially here in Maryland until like 2 in the morning. So
Mm.
I was very tired.
Wow.
I know you looking forward to the weekend.
Listen, I'm ready to catch up on some sleep. I'm actually going to Richmond though, because I'm gonna take my little brother to King's Dominion before school starts. So,
Oh, are you? I haven't been there in so
Cool.
long.
girl, me either. So I'm excited to take him out there.
Cool. 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 Yeah. Get some rest.
Man,
I could totally relate. It was storms here yesterday, and I was at work, and the power went out, and I was the only person in the office yesterday.
Oh my God.
You
oh,
know how scared I was? I was like, I called my boyfriend, like, I don't know what to do. But the power came back on like 5 minutes later. I was like, okay, I'm good. Because
that's good.
it's pouring down raining outside. The power's out. I'm like, it don't make sense to go to my car. So, like, what am I going? It's worse outside to go sit in my car. So I just
Yeah.
had to suck it out. But this morning was crazy because our system that we do telehealth on was down.
Oh wow.
And so luckily I have a rapport with my clients and I had their numbers in my work phone and I was able to contact them and they were willing to do the sessions over the phone, but it was hectic. Like, but I got through it. So I'm looking forward to the weekend though.
Same here.
What's up with
So
you, Gina?
I think just for the last couple of weeks, I've been kind of like stressed and a little overwhelmed. Like sometimes you don't realize that you're like carrying on a lot of stress until you get what I'm saying, you get a minute and a lot of things like fall through the cracks or whatever. So I feel like I'm possibly, I don't know, like my anxiety level is higher. Um, I did have a session today with my mental health coach, and I'm going to try to start journaling. Um, But I'm bummed because I was supposed to get my sister locks installed tomorrow, but the lady like had to reschedule because she wound up not block. She's supposed to block her whole day off, but clients had actually booked. So I'm trying to not let that bother me because that was like one thing that I was like anticipating for weeks. But
you're gonna have them done for you before your birthday, right?
yeah, like that was the plan. But like I dyed my hair last night, you know what I mean? Because I'm thinking like, oh well, I don't need this patch of gray. So who knows what it's gonna look like next week.
Girl, you better let that wisdom show.
Yes. I got gray strands, believe it or not, all through
So
here.
do I.
It's like a little salt and pepper in there.
But because I dyed it so much, it's like a mix of copper and blonde.
Oh, that's nice.
No, it's not. Not for just this one little patch right here.
Man, that's your signature look. You need to
Right.
go.
I'm fine. I'm
And
fine.
your
I'm fine
birthday coming up, so you a year older.
Yeah.
a year younger. I'm Benjamin Button. I'm Ada
Okay.
backwards.
Whatever you want to believe.
But yeah, I'm gearing up for my birthday, so I decided to do a birthday dinner. I invited some friends, so I'm excited to get out and have adult conversation. So
That's what's up. I love that.
yeah.
Okay. Cool. All right. So, I like that joint. Nope, I don't like that joint on prime time. What y'all got this week? What you got, Sharryse?
Well, right now, I just purchased this book off Amazon called The Miseducation of the Negro. So I just purchased it. I didn't get a chance to fully like engulf in it, but I'm excited to read it. So I guess I like that, John.
Who's the
Well, that's just a
author?
prime time. Yeah, that's a prime time because
Okay.
you bought something.
Yeah.
Who's the author?
I actually don't know the name of it off the top of my head.
It's not an old book.
Like 2 days ago. Huh?
That's an old book, ain't it?
Yeah, it's super old.
Oh
I
yeah,
got it
that's
recommended to me by a friend. So I was like, let me pick this up and dig into it and see what it's all about. Because I have no idea what it's about, to be honest. Well, the title, but other than that.
Yeah, Carter G. Woodson, Shalia. Carter G. Woodson wrote that book.
Oh.
You remember who Carter G. Woodson is, right?
Yeah, I'm thinking of another book, and I thought it was a lady.
So yeah, Carter G. Woodson is the man who created Black History Month.
I know, but
Oh,
I'm
okay.
thinking that the name of the book was by something similar. I don't know. I'm getting stuff mixed up. That's why I asked you was the author. But
Oh, okay.
you
Yeah.
gotta tap back in and let us know how it is.
I definitely will. And
Yeah.
I guess something that I like right now, I have these purple slippers, but this is something that I was going to use about for the prime time because I bought these purple slippers and they are just so comfy and warm. And my favorite color is purple. So
Oh yeah, so is mine.
oh, sweet. Yeah, so you need it. I'm going to send you the link to get those cuz they're very
Cool. That's what's up. You know you get older when you appreciate the small things. And that's okay. That's A-okay. What you got this week, Janina?
I've been really into crab ragoons. I think I'm gonna start making them at home.
Okay.
And it's so crazy because I never gave them a chance before.
Oh my God, I love them.
I know. So the first time I had them, I think somebody was talking about I like Panda Express, right? Whatever. So somebody was talking about their cheese ragoons or whatever. So I was like, well, let me try them out. And I tried them out. I was like, oh, I really like these. I'm like, so this is what crab ragoons taste like? And so then I just like,
Wait, you never had them before now?
no.
Oh my
That's
God.
crazy. I've been eating them for years.
Yes.
No.
My favorite place is what is it? What is that place called? It's in Philly. It's not here. It's like a drop-in Asian place. I can't think of it, but they got some good crab. I don't really like Panda Expresses. It may be just the one down here. But why can't I think Payway? Peiwei. I'm probably not pronouncing
I
it.
know what you're talking about. Payway is it's a branch of their other the more expensive restaurant.
Yeah. PF
They don't
Chang's.
really have as many payways out here anymore. They used to have one on City Avenue that went closed
Yeah,
down.
that's the one I used
Yeah.
to go to.
Oh
I've
yeah,
only
they
been to
full.
PF Chang if you're going to talk about those two restaurants.
That's what it is. PF
Yeah,
Chang owns Payway.
Oh,
yeah.
okay, okay.
Yeah, it's like their fast food restaurant part.
Oh, wow. I didn't-
Yeah, the one on City Avenue is no longer there.
Okay. I think it's one in Springfield on Baltimore.
Yeah, I don't even know if that's still there.
Oh gosh, that used to be my favorite spot to go. It was always quiet. Nobody was hardly
Forgot all
in.
about the yeah. I haven't been there in a long time either. But yeah, their
Well,
food is good.
if you make some at home, post it so I can see.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm gonna get some. But yeah, I've been feeling that, and I bought me a ice maker. I finally
oh,
bought
thank
me an
you.
ice maker.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Did you buy the expensive one that make the
The
crust
Sonic
ice?
Ice.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Did you buy that one?
No,
Oh, okay.
it
I
makes the
want
bullet.
that.
Yeah, I know. It makes the bullet ice, but it makes two different sizes: the large bullet ice and the small bullet ice.
Yeah, that's the one I had. I left it in Philly when I moved though.
Oh, did you?
Hmm. I want that. I want that.
The crushed ice. Yeah.
I want that one so bad, but I'm not spending that much money. One day it'll go on sale.
Right. I have a question for you guys. Do you guys eat like ice on a regular? Like, are you ice eaters?
I
She is.
am.
I'm not.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
I am. I love ice. Like,
She's anemic.
whew.
I am anemic, but I started taking my iron pills, and so the cravings for ice left.
Oh, did it?
Hmm. I'm
Mine's
like coming
kind
up,
of
still
left.
not official yet, but
Yeah, mine's kind of left, but I still like. I'll just have ice. Yeah, I don't even need nothing else. Just give me a cup of ice with a spoon, and I'm good.
I
It's
used to be like
bad.
that.
Yeah, it's bad. My I like that joint is an episode of a podcast called The Crew Has a Podcast with Michael Rainey Jr. from Power and the other guy from Power Book 2, Gianni Pilo, I guess Palo. But anyway, they had Keith Lee on. You know who Keith Lee is, right, Sharryse?
I don't know who
You
keeps.
don't know who
You
Keith
don't know who
Lee
Keith
is?
Lee is?
Oh
Oh,
my gosh, you gotta Google
Wow.
him. Are you on TikTok?
no.
Oh, okay. Well, he's
Oh,
on Instagram
yeah.
too.
And I thought I was late with finding out who Keith Lee was.
But Keith
I'm looking
Lee
about.
is this he lives in Vegas and he goes around doing food reviews for restaurants and they call it the Keith Lee effect because
Oh,
when he reviews these restaurants, they're the crowds just come try their food. Some of the restaurants have 3 to 4 hour waits because the lines are so long and it's just a good thing that he's doing for small business, struggling restaurants and stuff like that. So
that's awesome.
yeah.
Right. And he's gotten deals and all this stuff from Chipotle. Like
Yeah,
he got
Chipotle
deal with
put his
Chipotle,
name on. It was called
Chipotle.
Chipotle.
Listen, Chipotle, he's basically like the female Tabitha Brown,
Pretty
basically,
much.
because
Wow.
in
Okay.
this short amount of time, and he's also an MMA fighter though.
Yeah,
So
Oh,
in
yeah,
this
that's
short
how he
amount of
started.
time, he's gotten so blessed, but he gives all credit to God. That's
Right.
the
So
part.
let me
that's
finish.
awesome.
That's when I was so I'm gonna tell y'all, and people might think I'm crazy, but this is what happened, right? So one night, it was a night that I worked late. I was in the office from like 9 to 7. I came home, I was doing my notes. So I was listening to the podcast as I was doing my notes. And I was listening to it and I was listening somehow to him how he says like he's always thinking God, nothing, that he's doing is this is not a him. God is, making all of this happen. And I realized like, dang, I don't think God enough. I need to start thinking God more, right? Finished my notes, took my shower, ate, went to bed, had this crazy dream that somebody was pulling me. And I just was like, no, no. And I was thinking, God. I woke up from my dream scared. And the first thing that I said out of my mouth was, thank God. It
Wow.
scared the crap out of me. But I had been saying that I need to thank God more. So since I've listened to that podcast every morning, making sure I thank God when things happen, looking at the bright side, thanking God because my story is crazy and I just got to thank God more. So that's what I got out of the podcast. But it was a really good episode. And when you get a chance, Sharryse, Google him because
Oh,
he's
I am.
definitely a powerful person. He's a blessing. everything he does, he is always like, thank God, God is amazing, and you could tell his
Yes.
blessings are constantly coming his way.
Like celebrities like reached out to him to have him like go to their restaurants, and this has all happened within the last year. Like
Mhm.
everything just catapulted. I mean, he has 13 million followers on TikTok, I think.
It might be up to 15 by now.
Yeah, like his story is crazy, like catapulted. And like I said, he has deals with Wingstop. He has with the small businesses, he does not charge them or anything. He
Mm-mm.
pays for his food.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Girl.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna Google him after this is
Yeah.
over.
And on that
Yeah.
episode, he was saying how like people clown him because he takes his wife everywhere he goes. And when people invite him to places, he be like, if my wife can't come, I can't come. You know, like if my team can't all come, then I can't come.
Yeah.
So it's just like it is what it is. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it was a good episode. He has a really good episode with Kev on stage too.
Yeah, it's really long too.
Yeah.
I like Kev on stage. He's pretty funny.
Yeah, me too.
Wait, where is... Oh, okay. So you gotta hit this joint up is where we highlight small business. And just so y'all know that August is National Black Business Month. So make sure you're going out to support a black business or a black business that you already support and love. Just give them a little extra love this month. So we're actually going to highlight a bookstore that's in Maryland. It's actually on the harbor. And the reason why I'm highlighting this, not because you're here, Sharryse, partly, but this I reached when I was wrote my book and I was thinking about doing a book tour. I was thinking about Philly and all the areas around them. And I was looking at black bookstores and I actually hit them up to see if I could put my book in their store, which I'm actually, and I fell off. I didn't follow through, but when I finish my autobiography, I'm gonna make sure that it's in this bookstore. So the bookstore is called Mahogany Books, and it's an indie bookstore specializing in books for, by, and about people of the African diaspora. It's African American owned and a Black woman owned business. Um, it is located on 121 American Way, National Harbor in Maryland. You can find them on Instagram at Mahogany Books, and their website is mahoganybooks.com. So make sure y'all hit them up if y'all looking for some black books by black authors. And they're actually handicap accessible, and it's just a great place to visit. Take your children there if you're in the area, if you visit the harbor, and let them pick out some books.
And that's what's up. I'm gonna check that out too. The next time I'm around that way.
Okay,
Probably be in October, but yeah, be there.
cool. So we're going to get into this week's episode topic. And this week's episode topic, which Sharryse wears many hats, but we're going to focus on her life as a journalist and a radio host. Um, so we have some questions, but you can start off by telling us a little bit about yourself and how you got into the life of journalism and becoming a radio host.
Okay. Oh man, it's crazy. So Uh, I start, well, I'll go back to when I was 10. So since I was 10 years old, I always wanted to be a journalist. I used to go home after school with my parents and watch Oprah, her show, like every day faithfully. And I would always tell my parents, like, I'm gonna be a journalist when I grow up. And like my family would kind of like, they would laugh at me and then they'd be like, okay, we're gonna hold you to it. And I think like that same year, our school, this was in 5th grade, our school started like this news format situation, like where you could like report the school news on TV. And so I did it twice. So I was a little anchor and I heard my voice and I hated it. I was like, oh my God, I sound like Mickey Mouse. I don't want to do it anymore. And so I kind of like fell off for a little bit. And then when I got to high school, I guess I got into like creative writing, and I ended up realizing like, no, this is definitely something I want to explore. And I went to college right out of high school for my first year, and I realized college was expensive. So I joined the Marines. But while I was in the Marines, that's when I started Connect Like Minds, which is now a podcast, but originally it was a magazine.
Oh, wow.
And I came up with Connect Like Minds with one of my friends. We were in the office and we were like, he was like, yo, what are you going to, he was a graphic designer. He still is a graphic designer. He does a lot of art shows in Florida. But anyway.
Sorry to cut you off. What year was that you started the Connect Like Minds magazine?
2013.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Mhm.
right after Alicia Keys on Fire tour. I had just came back from deployment. That was my first Alicia Keys concert. I don't, if people follow me, they definitely know I love Alicia Keys. So I was like on fire during that time. I was like, man, I'm going to start this magazine. I'm going to get people to help me write it. And I didn't realize like the amount of work that it takes to have a magazine. And it was just me and my friend. His last name is Beckford. So it was just me and Beckford. He created the graphics for it. And it was a digital platform at the time. And like I interviewed like singers. I didn't really, I feel like I didn't have a plan for it at first, all the way through. And plus I was young. I was like 21. And I was just like, man, I'm just gonna do this magazine. And I kind of had some subscribers or whatever, but not a lot. And then with balancing the Marine Corps and that, I was like, this is a lot. And also I started school again online at the time. So it just became super heavy and stressful. I kind of felt like you, Jenny, like you were saying, we were juggling so many things this week. Like that's how I felt. Like I just had so many things going on, and sometimes I feel like you got to step back. And so I took a step back from the magazine because I just feel like it was just very overwhelming to undertake something like that. And then in 2015, I ended up getting actually, sorry, 2014, I ended up getting a radio internship at 101.9 in New Bern, which is where I was stationed in Jacksonville at the time and on Camp Lejeune. So that was about an hour drive. So I was still in the Marine Corps during this time, and I was driving back and forth every day from like, I would get out of work at like 5, drive there, and then stay there until about 11 o'clock at night, drive back to the barracks, get up in the morning for PT at 4 in the morning, and then go to work and do all of this every day. On top of that, I was also still in school at the time. And so I was just like, this is a lot. And as I was getting out of the Marine Corps in 2015, I asked the program director, I'm like, hey, like, do you see the hard work I'm doing? Like, will I have a position here or something? And he told me that if I worked 40 hours a week for free for 3 months, that after I proved myself after that, even though I had been proving myself for a whole year,
right,
that I could get a job. And so
Wow.
I was like, you know what? That's not really for me. So it really put oh my God, it dampened my spirit at the time, because I'm like, dang, like this is what they expect people to do. Like, and I feel like I had a kind of a chip on my shoulder, like, yo, I just served the country. This is how they treat people.
Right.
So I graduated community college in 2016, and then I started UNCW, and they had a radio show there. And one of my professors, he heard that I was like on the radio at 101.9. He was like, I know you say you don't want to do radio anymore, but we have Hawkstream, which is a radio service at UNCW. And I was like, I don't think I want to do this. He was like, come on. So then I started being a radio personality and getting paid finally. It wasn't a lot. It was something. And I was interviewing like anybody that would take an interview. So I was interviewing people like professors, students, people who had events at the school, people who had books, just whatever I could do to like get my bearings at the time, because I was still trying to find my voice. I didn't know what I wanted to do with Connect Like Minds at that moment. And so I started my podcast in 2017, And I didn't even know that it was going to be a podcast. Like, I had no idea what a podcast was. I just knew I wanted to have my own show. And so I would like record for my show and also record for my show at the school. So I did that until I graduated in 2018. And by that time, I had went to music festivals, interviewed celebrities like producer Zaytoven. Who else I interviewed? Little Flip, and other social media influencers. But I also knew that, like, for my podcast at the time, even though I wasn't calling it that, I wanted to interview people making a difference. And not saying that celebrities don't make a difference, but there are people locally and, you know, across, you know, the East Coast that are or West Coast, wherever, that are doing things in their communities, and they don't have to be, you know, like performers or whatever, or be super famous to make a difference. And so that's when I really like zoned in to Connect Like Minds and the audience that I wanted to have at the time. And then I was doing that for a while, and I had to stop because after I graduated, I couldn't find a job in journalism. And luckily for me, I didn't even say this, but I had joined the National Guard after I got out of the Marines. And so they offered me active orders. So I ended up being on active duty with them, or active reserves. It's all the same. I did that for with my unit for like 2 years. And I ended up getting a regular job with them. And so I like finished my contract out on active orders or whatever. And then I got out of the Army. And then I still couldn't find a job until like a few months, like sometime in 2019. I ended up getting an internship at this survival magazine. So out of like, that is not anything that I would be interested in, even though I was a Marine. But I started doing their social media for them and kind of like producing somewhat, like prepping interviews and all that stuff, or like prepping their website and putting articles up. And I did that until they lost their money or their funds for the internship. So I didn't do that very long. Then I got a job at 15 Seconds of Fame, where I would like be the person that fix, like, have you ever seen like a what is it called, the kissing cams at like NFL games and all of that?
Cool.
So I was the person pulling those videos and sending them to them and editing them and giving them to the people who it goes to or whatever. And we had a contract with like several NFL teams and NBA teams and stuff. The biggest project I worked on that year was the Super Bowl right before COVID hit. And then they ended up not having money to continue either because there were no games going on. Yeah, it was like up, down. In the midst of that, I did restart my podcast again. So there was a little break, then I started back again. And then I started working for a pest control company that has absolutely nothing to do with radio. And I worked for them for almost 2 years, or not even 2 years, maybe a year and a half. And in 2021, I didn't even say I was going to school for my master's, but in between this, I was going to school for my master's. And then in 2021, during the summer, I applied to a fellowship with the radio station that I work for now. It's an NPR affiliate. And so I had no idea about none of that. I didn't even know I did know a little bit about public radio, but not enough to know how important it was. And so during my thesis presentation, the dean was like, "Hey, I know we're probably not supposed to tell you this, but a job called for you." And we all talked to him, the communications team, well, the communications department, and the English department. I was like, what? So I'm like about to cry. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe this. Like, and this was before the job even called me. So then the job calls me a few days later and they're like, we want to interview you. So I went through the interview process and I was still like, I can't believe this is happening. And in September, I got the job. I started working there. And so I did my fellowship for a year and then they offered me a permanent position there. And so that's where I've been ever since. And I started, and you guys know I recently started my podcast again. So I had to take breaks because I was just doing so many things at one time.
What a journey. What a
Yeah.
journey.
Right. So you're a reporter, right?
Yes, I'm a reporter. Yeah, I'm an afternoon reporter. So basically I like do breaking news and turn in stories every day. Unlike like a beat reporter, you know, they might not always have something to give every day, but I'm daily news, so it's constant. Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Wow.
And how you liking it?
Oh, I love it. It was everything that I imagined. So I'm so happy that I didn't like give up or say, you know what, like I don't want to do this anymore. Like I'm glad I stuck with what I said since I was 10.
Right.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah, I think most people's stories, I feel like, because like Jamel Hill's story is similar to that, like ups and downs, and but she always knew as a small kid that that's what she wanted to do. But I think when I met you, I think you were doing the magazine. I probably met you like either 13 or 14.
You definitely met me in 13 because I had just when I came back from my deployment, that's when I went to go see my brother. So that was when I would have met you during that time. And I remember us, so I didn't eat sushi and I had sushi for the first time with y'all.
Did you? Girl, I don't even remember.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. I love to see growth. I love to see people winning. Like you, one thing I'll say about Sharryse, she ain't never still. Listen, that girl, but Raheem's like that too, though.
He is. I definitely believe we got that from our dad. Like my dad, one thing he taught us is to work hard. If you don't work, you don't eat. And so we always working. So
yeah, that's true. So Janina, you wanna jump in with a question?
So what is your favorite thing about interviewing people?
Oh, I love learning stories, like learning different things. Like I'm not an expert at anything, but if I'm interviewing you about something, you're the expert. So you got to teach me about whatever it is that I'm inquiring about. So I like learning.
Cool. Yeah. Who would you say is your dream person that you want to interview?
Oh man.
Besides Alicia Keys.
Right.
It is. Besides Alicia Keys, who? I don't even know.
Barack Obama.
No, it would be Michelle. Actually, if we're gonna go
okay.
to the Obamas, definitely Michelle. I like her journey and how she's been able to like be so classy and balance everything out in the public, because that's big right there. Like to be able to be so poised and stoic while you're out there dealing with, you know, how media is. So I would really like to dig into that. I'll listen to she was doing some interview with Angie Martinez and there was like a panel with like her, Kelly Rowland, and I forgot the other ladies that were on at the time, but it was really good and I felt like I could dig into that some more. Yeah.
What are some things that you do to maintain your mental health?
Oh man, exercise. I go to the gym and just give it my all every time I go. So gym. I haven't been reading as often because I've been busy, but definitely reading, meditating. And I think like people think meditating always means like sitting crisscross and sitting on a mat in the morning.
Right.
You know, sometimes I just like I'm on like I commute to work, so it's like a 30-minute commute, and like I will sit in the car with my thoughts and just turn off the music and just meditate and thank God. That's actually something I do a lot, just because I guess being in the military and knowing like your life could, you know, be taken at any time during that time. So I just was always grateful that I'm still here because I have friends who are not here.
Right.
I've experienced death and, in a different way that I feel like most people probably have not experienced death in, like being there with certain people dying and stuff like that. That's a different type of feeling. So I just meditate, read, exercise, and probably go on walks. I love walking my dog, so I'll be walking her.
Okay.
Sometimes I don't want to walk her though. You know, when you come home from work, you don't have time.
Yeah. But that's good. Those are all great things that help you to maintain your mental health. So
Thank you.
awesome. Yeah.
So who's the most famous person that you've interviewed so far, would you say?
Man, I don't know, because I feel like it would be Robert Richard, just because of his resume, and he's still working right now, and people, like, if you saw him, you would be like, oh, I know him, he's from Coach Carter, or he's from One on One. Like, people know him from different generations, versus like somebody that I really like. I'm a big fan of Jeremy Suarez, because I knew like he did a lot of voiceovers for cartoons. So he's super famous to me, but other people might not be like, oh, you know, who's that? But I know they know Rob.
Okay.
So yeah.
Cool. What do you think is a myth that people have about being a, write down your doing the news? What do you think is a myth that people have about that?
Although news is supposed to be sensationalized, I feel like not everybody's working for the man. Like
Right.
they feel like some like you gotta put, like they're being told to say this and angle it this way. I wouldn't necessarily say that. I know people who work for CNN. I know people who work for NBC, and no, they're just putting out a story. They just go interview somebody. Nobody up at the top is like, this is how you gotta say it, or we're gonna fire you because you're speaking the truth. No, but I do feel like some stories or some stations or whatever are more like left or right. Like, clearly there's an obvious one, like Fox. You know, Fox is, you know, who they are. And you got CNN. CNN liberals will go to CNN before they go to Fox. So
Yeah. Okay. So what is next for you? What's next? What's coming up for Sharryse?
man, so at some point I want to go get my PhD. I don't feel like I'm done with school yet. One of my end goals is to be a professor and to retire as a journalism professor or a dean. That would be great.
Awesome.
um I definitely have a passion to want to mold the next generation of people and meet more people like myself, because I know there's a lot of people out there like me. Like, everybody didn't like start college at 18 and stay in. Some people went to the military, some people have families. So I'm not a traditional student, and I want to make sure that I help those people who want their dreams to come true, to be a journalist, because I know how that feels. And that road is definitely rocky, and there's so many other ways or routes that you can go. And like, I know which ways you can go, so I can help guide them in those, on those paths.
Okay, cool. There's a doctor, she's a professor at a HBCU. Is it, which one is in DC? Which
Howard.
HBCU?
Oh,
Yeah,
Howard.
Howard. Dr. Stacy Patton. Have you ever heard of her?
Yeah.
Yes, I love Dr. Patton. But she does a lot. You know, she teaches media and journalism there. So yeah. When you said that, I thought of her.
Oh,
Yeah.
good. That means you can see me in the future. You can see me doing that.
Yeah, definitely. But have you thought about well, I know you got a lot going on, but becoming an adjunct with your master's?
Uh, so I'm so what I'm thinking about doing is, they have residencies, and you get paid to be an adjunct during that time for while you're getting your PhD. So I'm just gonna go that route whenever I go do it. I spoke to UNC Chapel Hill because they have one, and I don't know if I'm gonna go there because I don't know where I'm gonna be at in 5 years, but that's something I've been looking into. So, to short answer, yes.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, that PhD has been crossing my mind, but I'm like, I don't know if I want to do the work.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't neither, but my the dean of the communications department told me that I should do it when I'm ready. She was like, "There's no rush to do that. Do it when
Yeah,
you're ready." So that's what she told me. So I'm gonna tell you to do that. Do it when you're ready.
yeah.
Is
But
what
oftentimes I think I should have did it straight out of grad school. But life happens and never too late.
I
Mm-mm.
agree.
Yeah.
No,
So
but I think sometimes with PhD programs too, like the more colorful your resume is and the more colorful your journey is, sometimes that helps you with getting accepted into the program.
Oh, I definitely
yeah,
agree
for
with that too.
sure.
I
Mm,
agree.
yeah,
My one of my reasons for getting a PhD in journalism is because I felt like I did service in the military, and so me as a journalist, that's my service as a civilian, if that makes sense.
yeah. And it's
Yeah.
always good to share your journey, because everybody's journey is different, but the important thing is the end goal. How did you get here? And how are you maintaining, everything that you have going on? So always good to share your story, and help people along the way because you're in the field. There's not a lot of people who look like us.
Oh yeah, for
So
sure.
yeah, definitely have to represent for that and show the generations that are coming up. Because I'm seeing more, and I'm also seeing more specifically Black women news anchors embracing their natural hair, which is
Mm-hmm.
amazing.
Yes.
Love it. Yeah.
Yeah,
One thing that I really like about specifically public media journalism is right now, like they have different organizations. Like at our company, we have something called the Idea Committee, and where we're basically holding our company accountable for being diverse and making sure everyone has a safe space to be. And so I really like that, and I'm glad that's something that's being looked at throughout public media. Like it's really good.
Right.
cool.
Yeah.
So any last thoughts?
I just want to say I've always loved Sharryse's energy. She's a positive person. Um, she always has a smile on her face. I know she be like probably not happy or going through stuff, but I always notice that she pushes through, honey.
Oh,
And
thank you.
it could be your training where you make sure that you're not bringing drab to a scenario because you know that you get more honey, I mean more flies with honey. But I do know that about you. You're always enthusiastic, even though you got a lot of stuff going on. And I want to just let you know that I recognize that and I appreciate that because a lot of times your energy can bring somebody else's energy up. Like, let me get my shit together.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's so crazy. I called my best friend yesterday and she was like, Sharryse, every time I talk to you, I'm recharged. I'm like, oh my God.
Boom. Exactly.
Yeah,
So thank you, Janina. I appreciate that for real.
that's dope.
Yeah, we always need that.
And you always got to give people their flowers while they're here. So
Yes.
Well, thank
Yes.
you. And Shalia, thank you for giving me a shout out on the show, on your
yeah, I
episode.
really enjoyed that episode. I
That
really
episode was
did.
so good. This is
Thank
what I
you.
this is what I am going to tell you as your big sister. I'm so happy you stopped playing that music, girl. I'm so happy you stopped
Oh
playing
my
that music in
God,
those interviews.
Janika.
I I am because sonically it doesn't work for me. Like
It don't work
everybody,
for
it
me
doesn't work
either.
for. Like 85 South, they do it. I don't like it. Like sonically, I can't. I'm so used to hearing music when somebody's going on a break, like when it's going into a transition. So it's like I'm constantly waiting for something else to happen for it to cut off or something. But
I'm gonna tell you why psychologically it doesn't work. Because if the music is good and the interview is good, I can only concentrate on one. I can't concentrate on both. So it's like I'm either jamming to the music or I'm trying to, focus on what's being said. So yeah.
yes.
Well, that was one of the things that I knew I needed to change because some people were complaining to me. I'm like, okay,
Were they?
my bad.
That
Wow.
is so funny.
And
But that was
also, sorry for cutting across you.
oh,
Okay. I like sent out a message to everybody. I'm like, look, what are some things that you guys want me to fix or change? So that was definitely one of them.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
good.
But I was already gonna take that off anyway, because I was like, I don't really think this matches with this. What really happened was I'm in like hip hop or urban radio, you know, they have music playing. And so I learned that from there. So that's what the only reason why I had the music in the first place. And then I was like, look,
Right. But it was
this
a
is not for the
podcast.
podcast world.
That is different. Yep. That is different.
Yeah.
But keep doing what you're doing. Like I said, you have great interview skills. I love it. We learn from you too. You've been in this podcast game for a minute.
Right.
Just keep it up, and I'm proud of you. Like I said, I mean, we're in 2023, and if I'm saying I met you in 2013, like that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
So, and even though we never we barely seen each other, but it was like it's still so much love. You know what I mean?
Always.
Yes.
I'm gonna see you at weddings, family engagements, the whole nine.
Yes.
Yeah. And I haven't been around as long as Janina, but when Janina first told me about you, and I did listen, I think the first episode I listened to of yours was the one with Montel Jordan.
Okay.
It was really good, although it had the music. I was able to focus on what he was saying, and it was really, really good. I actually was listening to it one day in a car with my boyfriend, and he was like, "Who is this?" And I told him who it was, whatever. He's like, "Oh, she has a really good voice," and the questions that you were asking were really relevant because he does music, so he found it to be interesting. But since then, here and there, tapping in and out, definitely appreciate everything that you're doing, and keep going,
Thank you. I appreciate y'all.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing you with your PhD and being everything that you're talking about coming to fruition. Because for me, I just came across a memory. Was it yesterday? A memory on Facebook that I had posted that I was looking for jobs in Georgia or North Carolina, right?
Wow.
And I was, but I wasn't. I did, but it was like I looked, then I kind of fell back, and then I would look again. But look at me now. I'm in Georgia. I'm doing what I love.
And that was like 2012.
Yeah, it was like 11
Wow.
years ago. So, when you speak things into existence, and you never know when you look back, like, wow, that was 10 years ago. Look at where I'm at now, and I'm enjoying everything. But you've already experienced that because you said that at the age of
10.
10, you said that you wanted to do what you wanted to do. So that's awesome.
Thank you. And if you guys ever have any tips as big sisters, tell me. Don't let me go so many years with the music.
No, I mean, I didn't know if that was my place, but I definitely told Janina. I was like, yeah, it's a good, but because me and her, we agree with that. Like music on podcast,
and a lot of people do it. That's what I said. 85 South, they were super successful when they do it. A lot of people do it. Some people, the way that their brain works, it doesn't bother them. Just for me, I need to be able to just hear the message, hear the person, and that's it. Like, yeah.
Well, that's how I'm on 100 with you guys. So yeah.
So, okay, we got to close this out. So we're going to do, the category is, we're going to play the game with you.
Okay.
And the category is soul food.
Oh, all right.
See how Southern you really are.
Pretty Southern.
Right.
I think so.
Okay, so let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready. Let's go.
Collard greens or string beans?
Collard greens.
Baked mac and cheese or mashed potatoes and gravy?
Baked mac and cheese.
Fried chicken or fried fish?
Right. Oh, come on. I can't choose both.
No, you gotta pick what? Come on, you think about it.
Fried chicken.
Beef stew or chicken and dumplings?
Chicken and dumplings.
Cornbread or biscuits?
Cornbread.
Stuffing or dressing?
Stuffing.
Deviled eggs or potato salad?
Dang, potato salad, but I love deviled eggs.
I know.
Black eyed peas or red beans and rice?
Red beans and no. Black eyed peas.
Sweet potato pie or peach cobbler?
Come on now. Sweet potato pie.
Banana pudding or bread pudding?
Banana pudding.
Okay, that was good. That was good. You picked
I
all
know,
the
I'm
right
hungry
ones.
now.
I haven't had any good soul food in a minute, so
I know.
Me
maybe
either.
I'll come to Philly. I'll pick up something. But we appreciate you for coming through and spending time with us, sharing your story and, talking about your journey. We definitely appreciate that. Hopefully it inspires someone out there that's listening. So we will catch you guys next week. But before we go, we are now streaming on
216 The Blend.
The Blend. It's a 24-hour radio show. We air on Wednesdays at 1
9 a.m.
a.m.
Oh, 1 a.m.
1
Yeah.
a.m., 9 a.m., and again at 9 p.m. So you could check us out there as well. And make sure you go follow 216 The Blend. And make sure you follow us at the_JAWN_pod on Instagram, where you can find all links to all of our other social medias in our website. And guess what? Next week is the season finale. Season 7 is coming to an end, guys. And we definitely appreciate all the support and the love that we've been getting. So we will catch you guys next week. Peace out.
Hold up. Don't leave yet. Thanks for listening to my mom and auntie. Make sure you guys follow them on Instagram at the_JAWN_podcast. On Twitter at W_the_J. On TikTok at the JAWN A Podcast. And visit our website www.jawnpod.net. Don't forget to ask the JAWN, send your listening letters to thejawnpod@gmail.com. Period.
This is the JAWN, a podcast. I love y'all. Before